Yep. All right. Thank you guys for jumping on. This will be the last time we change times on you. I think we decided last week just to move our Sunday schedule up a little bit earlier, just so we can get started on the next opponent a little bit quicker. If you guys know, typically we did this thing about an hour later, and then we were getting ready to go on the practice field or coming off the field. So we just moved up everything so we can get done with practice on Sunday night a little bit quicker, and then have a whole night to work on the next opponent. So looking back at yesterday, just really, really proud of our team to go on the road against a really good team that was a veteran team and play as hard as we did and play as physical as we did. That was a fun tape to watch as well. Field position obviously was huge. I didn't do a good enough job after the game of really emphasizing how critical our special teams were yesterday. They've got Brown for them as a kickoff returner that is elite. That was one of the keys to the game for us that we told our team on Tuesday was our ability to cover kicks. And he returned, I think, 4 yesterday for an average of 18 yards per return. I think we had 3 drives, or they had 3 drives that started inside the 20-yard line after kickoffs. So credit to our kickoff coverage team. And then Kai Kroger and our punt team and the way that they controlled field position as well. That was huge. I think they had one punt we had one punt that went out of bounds on the 9-yard line. So in that sense, they had a drive that started on the 8, the 9, and the 12. All because of either our kickoff team or our punt team. So that was awesome. Got a lot of work to do. That's the exciting thing is to have as great a performance as we did yesterday, and then to turn on the tape and watch it, you realize that there's still a lot out there for us to get better at, and that's the exciting thing, and something we're going to do here as soon as I get off the call and we head out to practice is work to start getting better. As the coaches looked at it today, and we decided on really our top performers from yesterday. Offensively, our players of the game were Torricelli Simpkins. I love the mentality he plays with. He's a talented offensive lineman, but just the competitive spirit, the physicality, the mindset that he played with was contagious, and really had a good game. Mazio Bennett, he's a competitor. As you guys know, made a lot of plays in the passing game for us, and love the edge he plays with. And then Lenora Sellers, certainly some plays he would like to have back. One throw for sure, and then one of the times we got hit in the backfield was a mistake where they brought more than we had blockers for, and we got to get rid of that ball. But he got better, and proud of him. Defensively, TJ Sanders. Obviously, our whole D-line did a great job, but thought TJ just played really well and was very disruptive. Nicky Manwari in the secondary had the pick 6, tackled well, played really hard. Special teams, Kai Kroger speaks for itself. His ability, one, as a punter, but also as a holder. And then Colin Bryant, linebacker for us. Plays on all of our special teams and really, really played hard yesterday and played with great effort as well. Our Gamecock MVP was Justin King. And our scout players of the week were offensively Dante Reno, defensively King Ford, and special teams wise Jawarn Howell. So you guys know Jawarn Howell was our offensive scout team player of the week last week, and he was our special teams scout team player of the week this week. So he's a guy whose stock is rising and continues to get better. So eager to get back to work. Really like this group. I appreciate the way they play. They play the game of football the right way. It's fun to watch them. And want to thank our fans again for being up there yesterday, and could not be more excited about what's coming. We've got a big challenge, obviously, this week with LSU. We'll talk more about them on Tuesday, but going to be a great environment here Saturday at noon. College game day coming, and it's amazing how much can change in a week. So we know that and understand that the most important thing for us is we better get back to work, and that's what we're doing. So questions?
Hey, Shane, it's Dave. After cutting up the offensive film, obviously a lot of progress from last week, but still maybe some plays that could have been better, could have been worse. Was that a testament just how good Kentucky's defense is, or did you see some stuff like, hey, that might be something we got to work on this week?
A little bit of both. Kentucky's good on defense. They always have been, and they make it really, really tough on you. They do what they do. I mean, they don't really necessarily try and trick you with a lot of defense, Dave. They just are really, really sound and really, really well coached, and they make it hard on you. And so credit to them, and they're good players. But at the same time, we had some things where we sorry. My thing's echoing. Y'all can turn your mics off or whatever, please. So then we some of the protections that was probably the disappointing thing, David. One, we got to run the ball better. We did enough to win, but run game wise, we've got to be more productive and efficient than what we were yesterday. And then disappointing some of the times that two of those fumbles back to back, or two of the hits that Lenore's took in the backfield. It wasn't offensive line related. It was either, like I said, Lenore's didn't get rid of the ball quick enough, or, we should have been protected and we got beat. So we've got to get that cleaned up, because, that's 3 fumbles that we put on the ground yesterday that could have completely changed the game. And we recovered those fumbles because of how hard our guys were playing and the effort they played with. But we don't need to be getting hit in the backfield when we should be protected as well.
Hey, Shane, it's Hale. I wanted to sort of follow up on what you said about the run game. Even though it was sort of tough sledding in the first half, the third quarter, seemed like things were obviously able to get going there. Was there anything in particular that you guys saw that allowed Rocket to, get, I guess, all of his yards during that stretch?
No, not really. We continue to just kind of mix it up and do some different things on the perimeter and downhill. I think the biggest thing, Hale, is just the physicality that we blocked with and we ran with as the game went on. And we felt like, we're built for this, and the longer this game goes, the better. And credit to our strength and conditioning staff and our training staff and our nutrition staff that, we were at our best in the second half and in the fourth quarter. And we got better as the game went and played with great physicality more and more as the game went as well. And I think that was the biggest thing. I mean, even some of those runs at the end, the Rocket bounced one on that touchdown that ended up not being a touchdown. He bounced that one, but a lot of them were, it was well blocked. We had to run through some people or run over some people and play with great effort to make some of those runs happen at the end.
Hey, Shane, it's Jordan. Can you take us back to last night? How did you find out that you guys were getting game day, and what does that say about your program? You mentioned a lot can change in a week. Now you guys are going to be on the national spotlight this week.
I was on the plane, and my wife had talked to somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, one of those type things. And she said, I think we're getting game day. And I'm like, huh? And I said, you think that or you know that? And then she kind of told me what she had heard. And I found out as we were getting ready to land, and I had pulled my phone out of my bag, and we hadn't even hit the ground yet, but I was able to, I was trying to find scores of some college games because this friggin' ABC or Disney DirecTV dispute is killing me on this Delta plane, because we fly Delta and they got DirecTV, so I couldn't watch any of the games on the TVs in the back of the seat. And I really didn't want to, not to bore you, but log into Wi-Fi and all that stuff and the different apps. I'm old school, so I was watching the NBC I could pick up. So we need to get this DirecTV dispute figured out, please. But I picked up my phone, Jordan, to try and find some scores. And as I picked up my phone, I was scrolling through social media, and it came up before we hit the ground. So right before we landed is when I found out, and excited. I think they wouldn't be coming if they didn't know what our fan base is about and how excited our fan base will be to have them here. And, excited to welcome game day here. It'd be awesome and pretty cool to have them here. I remember as an assistant coach back in 2010, when game day came before we played Alabama. And I remember finding out, took a break for lunch. I think we had an off week the week before, and ran over to the Subway over on Assembly Street, and I found out my wife called me then and told me Game Day was coming back in 2010, and there was great excitement. And there was even more excitement last night when she told me that she thought Game Day was coming.
Hey, Shane, it's Jack. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to kind of follow up on Game Day a little bit. Obviously, from a recruiting standpoint, more eyes are on you guys and stuff with being in the national spotlight next weekend. But what does it do from your point of view from a recruiting standpoint with having all those eyeballs on you?
Yeah, it'll be huge. Certainly we had a lot of recruits that were already planning on coming to this game, Jack, regardless or before we did what we did yesterday. But certainly when you perform, that's the great thing about yesterday is, no disrespect to Notre Dame, Northern Illinois, or Iowa State. But I think those were really the only other two games on yesterday because I think ESPN had the U.S. Open tennis going on yesterday. So there wasn't a lot of options at 3:30 to watch college football yesterday. So there were a lot of eyes on us. And, after that game, there was already, like I said, there was already a lot of interest from recruits that wanted to come to this game on Saturday. And certainly after yesterday, there's a lot more that we heard from that want to be here on Saturday. So it'll be a great showcase for our program. For our university, for the city of Columbia, for our fan base. But, so it'll be great from a recruiting standpoint. We need to go play well. But also the way I look at it, though, Jack, is, this will hopefully be the first of, many, many times that Game Day is here as long as I'm the head coach here at South Carolina.
Hey, Shane, it's John. I was curious. Y'all started out with 3 down linemen on defense, and then I think that first series was about the main time y'all used it. Did y'all plan on using the 3 down a little bit more and 4 just kept working? Or what was the thought process behind that initial look?
We plan on playing a little bit of both, John. Honestly, going into the game, we really wanted to lean more on the 4 down defense. Now, last year against these guys, we pretty much played the majority of the game in 3 down. This year, we really wanted to lean a little bit more on the 4 down stuff, just, get 4 of our defensive linemen, 2 tackles and 2 edges on their offensive line, which we felt really good about that matchup as well. Now, we started the first of the game. We started it in Joker, what we call Joker, our 3 down stuff. We started it in that, but it wasn't necessarily, it was really just kind of a call Clayton had there to start the game, and we wanted to mix it up. We wanted to, get those guys on the field and get some athleticism and speed, and the whole plan going in was to do a great job at disguising coverages, and we were able to do that out of 4 down and 3 down as the game went on.
Hey, Shane, it's Alan. A lot of talk about the D-line yesterday and the secondary too, but what was your assessment on the linebackers yesterday, and especially some of the depth you're able to get in there? I saw Mo Kaba out there late. And Gali Kamara had a big series. What did you see from your linebackers yesterday?
I thought they played really well. Kind of like you said, we got all of them in there. It was good to see Mo Kaba get in there and get back and get some action. Fred played, I think, 17 plays. He's going to continue to get better as well. He started on one of our special teams yesterday. Gali was able to get in there. He was a little banged up last week against Old Dominion. It was good to see him back in there. He made some plays. Bam, Debo, D Knight. That's our group. And then, all those linebackers play special teams. Colin Bryant was the special teams player of the game. So it was great to see those guys get in there and get some work and continue to develop. And certainly, they're all competitors. They all want to be out there. And Debo isn't happy when we take him out. But it's great to be able to, get all those guys some work and continue to get them better.
Hey, Shane, it's Jordan again. I saw the starting lineup. Nick Harbor was out there. I think he had a target late in the game, but didn't have too many snaps. What's his progression been like, and what does he need to do to see the field more?
Yeah, I'll say it again because I feel like every single week I'm answering questions about one specific receiver. We got a lot of really good receivers. They're all working. We're still trying to figure out who is going to separate themselves. And I know everybody in America wants to see Nick Harbor because of his size and his speed. I get it. And Nick has worked really hard, and we've got to continue to get him in position to make plays. And he did start the game. And we as coaches have got to continue to find ways to get him open. But we've got some other receivers too that are doing some really good things that we're trying to get in there. And, excited about that whole group. I think that group is going to be I know they're going to continue to get better, and I think that group's probably going to look different in 3 or 4 weeks than maybe it looks right now, just because of the depth and the competition we have. And I get the question everybody wants to know, but I'm not going to do a weekly update on Nick Harbor's status either. I'm excited about Nick and the way he's working, and he did some good things yesterday, and we certainly need to continue to get him and our other receivers involved.
Thanks.
Hey, Shane, it's Jack again. Just wanted to touch a little bit more on the offense. Obviously, against Old Dominion, the passing game was a little bit of a struggle, but you guys played a lot better in that facet yesterday. I got to ask, what do you feel like is the next step you guys need to take as a group on offense to, get to where you guys want to go eventually?
Being able to continue to, make plays in the passing game, and we did. It was good to see us. We made some strides, and we did it with some different schemes or different concepts, if that makes sense. I mean, we opened up the second half. We were in empty with 2 tight ends, and I don't think we had a running back on the field on that first play of the second half against the first play of the second half in empty. And then we hit a little quick route underneath to Mike Smith. We've got to be able to continue to do that. The third down completion to, I think it was Jerry Brown over on our sideline. I mean, that was a big time conversion. I mean, 2 of our explosive passes yesterday came on 3rd and long. And one of them obviously was Lenoris improvising and being able to keep his eyes downfield. So we've got to be able to, one, protect. And like I said, the offensive line did a really good job of that yesterday. Zero got some pressure on us in early in the game in the first couple series. But after that, most of the pressures we gave up were essentially, quarterback or tight end. So we got to be a little bit better about that for sure. Got to be more efficient running the ball. I think we only ran it for like 85 yards yesterday and whatnot, because we're going to see great defenses in this league every week. And I think just, passing game wise, being able to just continue to get better. One, like I just answered, but Jordan's question is figuring out who our top receivers are. And as we've told those receivers, those guys are, we're still trying to figure it out. And we're waiting for 2 or 3 or 4 guys to really take this thing and go. And I feel pretty confident right now saying Jerry Brown and Mazio Bennett are probably, our top 2 receivers right now. Well, are they going to continue to evolve or not? And then who else? We need more than 2. So we're waiting on these other guys to come on and take this thing. And that's not just running routes and getting open. That's perimeter blocking. We had some penalties yesterday on the perimeter. We had one on the second play of the game out there. So I think that's the biggest thing, is figuring out who our guys are at receiver, and then being able to throw quick game, throw drop back, max protect, and throw the ball downfield like we did with Jared Brown last week against Old Dominion. Move the pocket. The first play of the game that we ran against Old Dominion was the same play, just the different direction that we threw the touchdown pass to Bazio to start the game yesterday. So that's what we've got to continue to do.
Hey, Shane, it's John again. If you don't mind, can you assess kind of what you've seen out of Juju in the return game, the pluses and the minuses, and also I know Jalen was back there. I think it was the first punt of the game to receive that, but it was Juju the rest of the way. Wanted to know the thought process on who goes back there at what times.
Yeah, your first one was Juju in the return game, I think. I thought he was good. He's done I thought he did a nice job yesterday on when they punted. I thought he did a nice job of, fielding the ball, making good decisions, getting what he could. There was one time, I thought he did a good job. And then kickoff return wise, that's disappointing. I thought we had an opportunity to make some. I didn't want to be out there a lot on kickoff return, but meaning because if we are, Kentucky scoring a lot, so thank God we only got one opportunity yesterday to return it, but should have gotten more yards out of it. We got beat at a couple different spots. We had a return going on, John, that was just literally one-on-one blocking 10 on 10, and then Juju in the kick returner, and we got beat at a couple spots and one spot in particular. But I think he's doing a good job, and we've got to continue to get him going on offense. And I like the energy and the competitive spirit he brings to the team.
And then also with Jalen and Juju.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Goes out there.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm sorry. When we keep essentially our defense out there, meaning it's 4th and 1, and you don't want to try and put your punt pressure personnel people out there. And we want to keep our defense out there because it's could be a fake, or we want to get bigger bodies out there just in case they direct snap it and try and run for a quarterback type sneak play or something. If we keep our regular defense out there so we don't sub like so many people in and out, Jalen's already out there on defense, so we just put Jalen back there in those situations.